Hello Demon Fires, this is Ayush and I will be doing a really short tutorial on Git for everyone who would like some refresh or want to know how to use Git. Um, I'm going to be using centralized workflow for this example. If anyone has any other suggestions or corrections to be made, feel free to let me know. Alright, here's the tutorial. First of all, you're gonna go to git-scm.com/downloads and you're going to download Git for your platform, Windows, Mac, Linux, or Solaris. I am guessing everyone will be using Windows for this project. It doesn't matter, Git is independent of platforms, so once you have it, it should work through your command line. Just make sure to add to your path, and I'm guessing everyone knows how to add things to their path, so if anyone needs help with that, just let me know. So after you have downloaded Git and you are able to run it through command line, what you should see is if you type Git on your command line, you should be able to see it working. So Git works now. So the first thing we're going to do, everyone's going to do this on their computer, is we are going to clone Demon Fire into our desktop or any other folder you would like to use. So it's very easy. All you do is git clone, and this link over here, github.com/bestcow/demonfire, just type that in, press enter, and that's it. It's cloned in your desktop now. You don't need to do anything else. And if I ls, you should see Demon Fire should be here somewhere right there. It's the directory. So I can change directory to Demon Fire. And if I ls, you would see readme.md. So that's the file. It does just have Demon Fire in it. So if I ls, you should see it just as Demon Fire. So now I need to make some changes to Demon Fire. What I'm gonna do is open it. So let's say Ayush is making change number 1. Okay, so I'm gonna make this change, and then if I view the file now, it says Ayush is making change number 1. If you go to the website and refresh, you shouldn't see anything. The change has not been made on the website yet. That's because all the changes you make are made locally to your computer. So we've added, Ayush has made change number 1 to our file. So after we do that, we add it like this. Okay, this is just a command. After you make any changes, you add this file to your local repository, and then you commit. So this option here. So just know how to use it for now. So I would say change number 1 as my message. This should be something meaningful. Now one file changed. If you go and refresh, it still doesn't show anything. That's because you still have not pushed it to the master over here. This is still your local. So now I want to push it to the master. What I do is git push origin master. And once I do that, it's going to ask me for my GitHub username and my password. And it pushed it. So it does ask you your username and password, so you do need a GitHub account to do this. So let's go and refresh the site now. Here you go. Ayush is making change number 1. Perfect. So now you are able to make some change. Now everything works fine up to this point, but there are some places where things can get a little crazy. So I'm going to show you that also, just because we'll be working as a team and we don't want things to get messy. So let's say I had all this done here. and I was working on my file, but at the meantime, let me pretend to be James. So James decided to go and do his own changes. So this is James right now. This is not me. So just pretend this is James doing everything. So he goes and he says, James is making change number 2. And he saves the file. So James is making change number 2. He does do that. And he committed it. He did everything he was supposed to do. Everything is fine until now. So if I go to my local here, and if I view my README, it only has my change number 1. So I decided to make another change. So I open the file. I decide to add another change here. So let's say Piyush makes another change. Okay, this has nothing about any change that James made. So I change the file and then I save it. And then like usual, what I do is I do git add, I add the file to my local repository and I commit. My second changes. Everything is fine up to now. And now when I try to push origin master, I get this huge error. That's because my local repository is not up to date to what the master actually is, because it was already changed. James made these changes, but my local repository does not know anything about that changes. So you can't change or push to that master right now. There's a very simple way to fix that problem. What I'm going to need to do first is, usually I can do git status and check. It says your branch is ahead of origin master, which means we can't push to your our master over here because it's already ahead. So to solve that problem, I'm going to use this command here called git pull rebase origin master, and then I press enter, and it's going to give you all that stuff over there. Now what this does is, if you look at the README file now, it shows you my change that I made here, the original change I had made, but it also tells you about the new changes that were made by somebody else. So after you know that somebody else had made those changes, you can go ahead and manually change that. So I can delete this line over here. So James had made some changes. Now I have done everything that I was supposed to, and I can save this. If you view my file now, it should look like Ayush, James Ayush. And then I add this file, git add dot. Okay, I was able to add it to the repository. And now the rebase you made, you actually finish it by saying rebase dash dash continue. So I was able to change everything on top of what I pulled as a rebase, and then now I can push. And that's right. Username and password again, and perfect. Everything worked fine. If I go here and I press refresh, does show Ayush makes another change. James changes here. Ayush is making change number 1. Okay, so I see that James is missing an S. So now if nobody had made a change, all I needed to do was this, save it, git add dot, git commit dash m, change the spelling of James, git push origin master, username, password, everything works. If you go here, refresh, spelling is corrected, everyone's happy, and it works perfectly. Alright, so that's my tutorial. I'm just going to delete all the changes that I made here. And we have an empty README file again. And if anyone wants to practice that, just go ahead and feel free before we start the project. I think that's a great way to make sure we don't make mistakes when pushing or pulling later on. Right? If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. And if you have any other suggestions that I should have not done, that let me know too. All right. Thank you for your time. All right, guys.